So in this video, we're going to cover the details on the contactor that's within an AquaComfort heat pump pool heater. If you open up the main electrical enclosure, you'll see several components in here. The one all the way over on the right is the contactor. So what the contactor is doing is it's bringing in on the bottom here the line side power. So that's going to be coming from the disconnect, which then leads back to the main load center in your home. It's going to be, the contactor is being controlled by these two wires, which are coming from the control board. So basically those two wires have a 24-volt source. When the control pad tells the contactor that the unit needs to come on, it passes 24 volts through that coil, closes the circuit, and then allows power from the line to travel to the other side, to have these three wires, yellow, red, and black, to the compressor. And so you have these two small orange wires, and those are leading back to the control panel, and that's going to be a 24-volt source. And then you have these three wires up here, which are leading back to the compressor. If you suspect that your contactor is bad, you could take a meter while the unit is supposed to be running. So if you had the control pad on and the unit says it's running, but obviously there's nothing on, the coil may be bad, the 24-volt coil, so it's not allowing any electricity to pass from the line side to the load side. So you would put your contacts on either side of these lugs, and you should be measuring a 24-volt power source. If you're measuring 0 voltage, then the coil is probably damaged, and you'll need to get a new contactor. To get the contactor out, you'll have to unwire everything, following and making reference to the wiring diagram. And there's just two sheet metal screws that are holding this on to the rear of the electrical enclosure. And so you'll have to just order a new contactor from your sales rep and reinstall and rewire everything just as it was when you uninstalled it. There is something to take note. Some of the connections are done with lugs, with these disconnects, and some are done with these screws. So the screw connections are very important. On the side, there's some torque values that you need to follow and use a torque wrench. If you over torque the wires, you may be damaging the connection, and if you under torque, you may be not having a tight enough connection, which could cause arcing. Arcing could be the cause of why your contactor is damaged. So especially on the high voltage 240 volt side, you need to make sure and adhere to those torque settings. Other than that, that is the contactor.